your fonts. It's a term for adjusting the spacing between your font. And in my InDesign file, I create a text box. I write the name of my product, so my label, design, whatever it may be, your product. Just like you would customize the size of font, quite simple to do. Choose your style of font, quite simple to do. Not all fonts will have the option to have regular bolded. We'll talk about that later. But for the spacing, if I have a font, zoom into this, is easier to see what the heck I'm talking about. So I have this font, label design. And the spacing is set default to me, that if I hit space, it creates an equal space. If I try and move spacing backspace, it removes the letter. So there's default space that I can work between that's already set for me. Sometimes in fonts, though, you'll see that the way that things bell out makes the distance between E and L look a lot further than the distance between S and G, just because of the structure and the nature of the font. These are things you would adjust using kerning. Kerning is a process of selecting where in the word you'd like to adjust. So I'm going to go right here next to my B, and I move my E closer to my B. Now I simply can't remove it, would delete the B. What you do is on your keyboard you hold Alt, Option, Alt, also the Option button, and you move the arrow in the direction you want the letter to travel. So if I want it to move towards it, I'm going to move it left. And you'll notice that the letter just moves. If I want to move it away, I would move right. And this would allow me to customize the spacing between my words so that it makes more sense for what I may be choosing to design. So this is the process of kerning. And then it lets me space out my label as I desire by holding Alt and moving the arrow. You'll find that sometimes this is a very helpful thing, especially if you have more cursive fonts where your fonts would run over each other in a, I can find all the cursive font, a serif, where your fonts run over each other. For example, here, my label B kind of gets lost in the kerfuffle, and if I hold the Alt down, it lets me actually space that out so we can really see the B. Right there. So that is the act of kerning. The E and S, the spacing there is ridiculously close compared to the spacing of the S and the I. So simply holding Alt, I'm able to change the spacing and it becomes more legible and balanced in the reader's mind. Sometimes too, this L to the A is way too far, so I would Alt and move it closer. All these options for you. So that is the act